there's one dream that unites millions of kids around the world.
I want to be a professional footballer.
Lo que me gustaría ser de mayor es futbolista.
I want to be a professional footballer.
Profile como profi-futbolista será melhor.
O que eu mais gosto no futebol.
And I grew up I want to be a footballer.
Futbolcu olmak istiyorum. Futbolcunun en üst düzeyinde görmek.
Quando sea mayor, quiero ser futbolista.
Eu pretendo ser, quando for mais velho, jogador de futebol.
I'll be a football prof.
Mayor me gustaría ser futbolista.
When I grow up, I want to be a professional footballer.
But what does it take for a 15-year-old kid to turn a dream into reality? For many wannabe pros around the world, the answers can be found here at the Manchester United Nike Premier Cup. Now in its 10th year, it's one of the largest and most prestigious football tournaments in the world for players aged 15 and under. This year, over 100,000 players, some 6,000 teams from more than 40 countries started out. Quite simply, the best young footballers in the world are here. We've travelled the world in search of the winners from each Manchester United Premier Cup qualifier to see which teams would advance to Beaverton, Oregon in the USA to play in the World Finals. Along the way, we've also picked up some invaluable advice and tips from star professional footballers in making it in the game, some of whom have even played in the Manchester United Premier Cup. If you think you are the future of football, then keep watching. It could turn your dream into reality. In March, one of the first Manchester United Premier Cup qualifiers to kick off was in Jönköping in Sweden. Minus 15 degrees outside meant all the matches were played on state-of-the-art artificial pitches inside. 20 teams from all over Sweden competed, all showing the technical skill and tactical awareness associated with Swedish football. The winners would go on to play in the European Regional Qualifier. Home advantage paid off with the local team, Jönköping, winning in the final. One of the stars of the team is a tricky right midfielder, Jesper. This kid loves his football so much, he'll play anytime, anywhere.
I love running, playing. To run around with a football is the best thing there is. I know I must work hard to make it as a footballer, and I'm prepared to do so. I'd give up anything to become a professional when I grow up. My favourite team is Arsenal. I think they play the most enjoyable football in the whole world, and they've got an amazing team right now. I hope they'll have that in the future too, as that's where I'd love to play.
Unfortunately for Jesper and Jönköping, they lost in the European Regional Qualifier. The winners were Galatasaray. But watch out for Jesper in a few years. He'll play anytime, anywhere. One of Jesper's heroes is fellow Swede Freddie Ljungberg. In April, he took time out from Arsenal's busy end-of-season schedule to take centre stage at a sports store in London. Ljungberg began playing in the English Premier League in 1998. The recent rise in popularity in the game here has turned its best players into million-dollar earning celebrities. Lights, camera, action. Welcome to the life of the 21st century footballer.
Well, if you're new to it, and if you're young, there might be things that are difficult to know. Suddenly there are a lot of people who want to become your friend. Everyone wants to be your best mate. And it can be difficult to know who you can really trust. That can be difficult to know when you're young, who you can really trust. But I think it depends on your personality too. It's important to keep both feet on the ground and focus on the football, and not to take too much notice of what people say and things like that. But it's okay, I think. I feel privileged to have a job as a footballer. It's quite amazing. I'm very happy about it. Many people don't know that I spend about 3 nights a week in hotels, and we have training more or less every day. So it's maybe not as glamorous as you think, but I do feel privileged, as I get to do what I like most. And I get paid well for it.
In today's game, defences are tight and well organised at the top level, so a player needs more in his armoury than just strength and speed to break them down. That's why young players are encouraged more and more to work on their skills. This is the world of freestyle.
These guys are very talented. It's always fun to talk to them, and you can always learn something. It's tough to admit, but I think a few of them actually know a few more tricks than I do.
Freestyle football is getting big. Just 4 weeks after Freddie's appearance, 5,000 wannabes strutted their stuff at Earl's Court in London for one of the largest freestyle events ever. Kids take moves from the street, the playground, the dance floor, even the basketball court, and mix it into a mad hybrid of youth culture. The rules were simple. Whoever could pull off the most amazing moves was the winner. No tactics, no defence, no offsides, and definitely no referees. These freestyle events are more about expression and improvisation than they are about the sport in its purest form. The winner was 19-year-old Abbas Farid from Newport Gwent.
There's mainly 3 methods. One of them, the first one of all, is practice. Second of all, you gotta experiment, you gotta be creative. And some of them you do pick up off other moves. Like an event like this is perfect to learn. To learn so many tricks off other people is great. So the next time you enter it, you'll be confident and it can get you far.
What I like most about football is playing the game and scoring goals. I love to compete and push myself to the limit. Sometimes the game has to be more than just about football.
I like football because it is my dream. I love football, and every time I watch a match, see the stars play, it makes a big impression on me, and I fall in love with football more.
Football is almost everything I ever do. I train a lot. I really love football. It's all I do.
I really like football because it's my passion. I've played it since I was little.
What I like most are the goals, because they're the essence. Without goals, there'd be no good football.
At the Manchester United Premier Cup UK qualifiers in Sunderland in April, skill and commitment were on show in equal measure. While teams from other top leagues around the world play their football at a slower tempo, much of the game in the English Premiership is played at a fast, frenetic pace. Naturally, that sets the tone for the football played throughout the country. The recent influx of foreign stars in the game has had a knock-on effect, though. Coaches and managers at all levels now realise the extra importance of skill and possession in breaking down top defences. In many games, one cool trick could mean the difference between winning and losing. One kid who had all the tricks was Hogan. No one was in any doubt that this 15-year-old had the moves to one day unlock the Premier League's best defences.
I played for West Ham, and I got trials for them when I was 10 years old. I was playing for a Sunday team in a five-a-side tournament, and a scout chose me and two other players from my team. And then we came to the training, and it was good, it was fun, enjoyable. They wanted to sign me then. But I finished the season with my Sunday team, and then I've joined West Ham, and it's been great ever since. You like beating defenders, making them look silly, and you just hope that you can do it again the next time and the time after. Just want to keep on beating them. My best attributes are decision-making, control of the ball, and dribbling. The advice I give to kids is you've got to enjoy it, and you've got to play within a team. You can't just play for yourself. And when your chance comes along, if you get a trials for a big club, small club, whatever, you've got to take it.
Hogan's skills led West Ham all the way to the final of this qualifier, only to be beaten by a Middlesbrough side with a few tricks up their sleeves themselves. Like Hogan, Manchester United and England international Rio Ferdinand learned the game in West Ham's fabled youth system. At 23, Rio is the new face of defending in the Premiership. Strong, silky and skillful. Man United paid Leeds United some $46 million for him. Rio's rated the best central defender in the country, though he didn't play at the back when he was young.
I didn't choose as a kid to be a defender. I was a midfielder when I was younger, and the manager, we had a problem in defence. There was no players, and he said to me, "Do you want to play there quickly?" And I was a bit disappointed, and in the end, I played there that time, and I never ever played there anywhere else again. I just played centre back ever since. Being a team player suits me a lot more, to be honest with you, because I don't. When there's all the cameras around and everything, it's nice to be able to hide in the background when there's a team. You're not the focal point of it all, and that kind of stuff when you're in public and people come up to you and ask for autograph. It's nice, but it's sometimes embarrassing. Advice for children who are going to try and be defenders, there's not really a definite rule. I just think you've got to be confident. You've got to make sure that you don't dive into a tackle. Sometimes you've got to be patient and don't go on your bum too much. That's what my coach always used to say to me, don't do too many slide tackles unless you're 100% going to win the ball, because once you go on the floor, it's a long way to get back. To play at Man United and at Old Trafford it was a dream of mine since I was a kid. And when the opportunity came to Man United and play in the theatre of dreams, it was something I couldn't turn down. When you go out in front of 67,000 people week in, week out, screaming for you, there's no better feeling.
Clean boys.
Although Manchester United have been known to spend the big bucks in the transfer market, they also appreciate the value of youth. Young players are spotted by United scouts from all over the UK and worldwide and are asked to train with them, either at their modern facility at Carrington or at various satellite training centres abroad. Age groups start at 14. At 16, players may be asked to sign a full professional contract.
Come on, Tom, come on.
This is the system which world-class players like Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes and David Beckham all came through in recent years.
I'm there for you. I'm here. Good.
The emphasis on youth is such that United kicked off the current season with 5 homegrown players in the starting 11.
Can you score? Oh, that's lovely.
I think it's fantastic to see young kids practice on their skill, because there's no question when it comes to a point where they maybe have to play a game of football, that's going to be put in question. And the better they are at it, the better the footballer they are. So it's a foundation which we've placed great value on. It's best described when be the saying that he who dares wins. And I think Manchester United players are like that. We always try to win the match, and we want players who express themselves in that way and also have enthusiasm. If I go to watch a game of football, I like to see young kids that are enthusiastic and they try all the time. Because I think if you take these things, your ability to be able to play in a game of football with a good talent and have great enthusiasm about you, you're going to have a career, without question.
Not a product of United's youth system, but a player whose career Ferguson has followed closely whilst a youngster at PSV, Ruud van Nistelrooy. In 59 games last season, the Dutchman scored an amazing 47 goals. Not bad for a striker whose career nearly ended 3 years ago with a cruciate ligament injury. If kids out there need a role model who never gives up, this guy is it.
I had to work very, very hard to achieve and to be where I am now. It's not like very natural that it happened to me. I just have to work hard to achieve something. And I think if you work hard, you can achieve a lot, and that's what I always try to do. Don't sit inside, just go outside and take your ball with you and try to copy game starts. And if you are young and work hard and do your best and practice a lot, then you can achieve a lot.
Sports world.
Why do I want to be a professional footballer? Because I like the profession. It's beautiful.
I want to play with the big guys and play with the pros in front of all the fans and just enjoying all the atmosphere and the stadiums, traveling the world. I love it.
Well, that's what's nearest and dearest to me. What I like most doing.
A football player has all the good things. Apart from doing what you enjoy, from getting paid for doing what you like, you have everything else because of football.
It's not really about fame. It's about doing what you can do and staying off the streets.
A friendly match between the US and Venezuela in Seattle in late March. For two of the home team's biggest stars, Brian McBride and Landon Donovan, playing professional football in the United States is all about trying to get noticed.
Hello there.
Unlike virtually every other country in the world where football and its football stars are the biggest thing around, in the States, the game falls behind American football, basketball, baseball and hockey in the popularity stakes. It could have been easy for these guys to take up another sport when they were younger, but they stuck at it.
The thing I love most about soccer is that, for me, it's just an escape. It's something that's been embedded in me since I was, 3, 4, 5 years old, and for me, it's just my getaway. And every time I come to play soccer, I love what I do. And if there's problems somewhere else, I come out on the soccer field and I just relax.
Life for a soccer player or a football player is, it's a fun job. I mean, something you've always wanted to do, or something I've always wanted to do. So to be able to make a living at it is an extreme bonus.
I think a lot of young soccer players and athletes in general get into trouble because they kind of lack guidance and they lack people helping them to stay grounded and to maintain who they are. I mean, when you're a young age, you're not a refined person. You're not someone who's built into a great person. You're just a young kid enjoying yourself, and if you're not careful, it can go to your head.
In late May, US kids hoping to emulate McBride and Donovan were at the final Manchester United Premier Cup qualifier in Beaverton, Oregon.
1, 2, 3,
No baseballs or basketballs in sight, these kids love their football, or soccer as they call it. Despite the fact that soccer is playing catch-up with other mainstream American sports, the game is hugely popular with youngsters. There are some 3 million registered soccer players under 16 years old in the States. One of the top goal scorers in the tournament was Lucas, a centre forward from Chicago.
I'm addicted to goals. I love it. The feeling you get when the ball's in the net, you just go and it takes over you. I mean, the more goals I get, the better I feel. I love them. I think my best skills are controlling the ball. I like to play with it with my feet. I like to dribble. I'm pretty quick. I like to take the guys on. I like to surprise people. I like to take that shot right away. I watch a lot of European soccer, and I love watching the pros, and so I like copy my idols, and I copy Ronaldo because he's a great goal scorer. And I do the airplane because that's his celebration. It's just fun. I think we're more confident than we first started the tournament. I think we could win this cup.
Despite Lucas's confidence, he and his team, Sockers FC, went out in a semi-final penalty shootout. It was Urban Boys who won through to come back here for the finals.
I really like playing in the Manchester United Premier Cup because the standard is really high and because I visit new places and make new friends.
This is an international tournament. You can go worldwide in this tournament. So everyone is really going for it.
Playing the Premier Cup is quality, just to play against teams that you haven't played against before and to come across players that you haven't played against before.
This tournament is one of the best tournaments I've by far played in. The environment is beautiful, and the fields, and it's just great to play on it. You can't ask for any better.
What I like about the Nike Premier Cup is the high standard of football played here by the teams that come here from all over Spain.
The Nike Cup is a world-class tournament, so I really think that by taking part in this, I can open up opportunities for myself.
Few can forget the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Its success was well documented, its popularity in the two host countries, Korea and Japan, plain to see. There had been reservations in some quarters as to how the tournament would be received in the two countries. There needn't have been. Young fans, buoyed by the success of both Korea and Japan reaching the knockout stage of the competition, took to the streets to celebrate. This was when football took on a whole new meaning in the Far East. In Japan especially, however, many still thought football would be a passing craze for these young people. But Japan's Premier Cup qualifier in Fukushima in May proved that this definitely wasn't the case. 12 teams turned out to compete for their chance to make the finals in the US. Philippe Troussier, coach of Japan during the World Cup, often spoke about the need for Japanese players to embrace football worldwide. The export of players such as Nakata, Ono and Inamoto to European clubs was vital to the success of the national team in the World Cup. The confidence that this has brought is clearly evident in the play of these Japanese kids. They're competitive, they're strong, and they're technically gifted. One player who had all this and a bit more was Sanfrecce goalkeeper and captain Akashiga. When he's not saving goals, he's scoring them. All in a day's work for him.
I think that as a goalkeeper, I won't be beaten by a crossball. Plus, I'm great at catching. Obviously, if you become a professional player, you get to play with great players, people who are much better than you. I want to play with these people, imitate them, and become better myself.
やっぱりそういうとこはプロになりたいですね。
Thanks to Akashiga's all-action, non-stop displays, Sanfrecce won the tournament, winning 2 penalty shootouts en route, including the defeat of favourites Tokyo Verdy Juniors in the final. The bullet train home and victory tastes sweet for Sanfrecce and for Akashiga, who looks like he's taking the fast track to the top. Arsene Wenger knows a thing or two about football in Japan, having coached J-League's Nagoya Grampus 8 for 2 seasons before joining Arsenal. He also knows a thing or two about spotting young talent, Thierry Henry being one such player he's nurtured from a raw young winger into a world-class goal scorer.
You're not always on the urge to buy. You say, okay, if I find the right player, I can strengthen my team by getting a player who has these qualities. If not, I know I have a young player who can push through, and then I give him a chance. So you're never really under big pressure to make buys in a hurry. And as well, I would say it pushes your squad players, because they are not stupid. When they are in training, they see the good youngsters who practice with them, and they think as well, if I don't perform, there's somebody in behind me who pushes me and who can take my place.
Next up, a country that provides the world's biggest clubs with a seemingly endless supply of young talent. No prizes for guessing. We're off to Brazil. If you fancy a game of football in Rio, head to the beach where many of the local youngsters try to copy their footballing heroes such as Pelé, Ronaldo and Roberto Carlos. With 5 World Cups, Brazil are by far the most successful footballing nation on the planet. A unique country with a unique approach to the game.
Having been brought up in Brazil means that I have learned a lot from my country. The wealth, the poverty, the beaches, the family, the education. We Brazilians are different, and I'm proud to be Brazilian. My advice for the boys is to work hard, and when they play, they should make sure they enjoy it. They should forget their problems, and whatever they want to do on the pitch, they should do it, but with responsibility. Never get stressed. Do things calmly, enjoy yourself playing football, and above all, study hard. Education is very important for a footballer.
In late May, many of Brazil's future stars were having fun in Rio at their Premier Cup qualifier. CFZ, Sao Paulo, Corinthians and Flamengo battled it out for a ticket to Beaverton. Teams from Brazil have won the last 3 Premier Cups. There's the winning streak to keep alive here, so the weight of expectation is definitely on these guys. While Brazilians are known to be the most skillful players in the world, there's also a toughness and resolve about them that gets hidden in the beauty of the samba football that they play. 2 players with both skill and resolve in their locker are Corinthians' number 11 Mauricio and Sao Paulo's number 8 Fabio. They were up against each other in midfield in the final game that decided who was going on to the States.
There is a lot of competition, especially in the Premier Cup, because the prizes are good and everyone wants to win every match. Not only because we want to beat each other, but also because we want to be champions. It is an important tournament in Brazil.
There is a lot of competition amongst the Brazilian teams, because nowadays, teams only want to win. Nobody wants to lose, and there has been a lot of physical contact on the pitch lately.
A 0-0 draw in the final game between these 2 Sao Paulo rivals meant that Corinthians went through because of better results in earlier matches. For Fabio, the despair of getting sent off in the final and his team losing and not going to the States. And for Mauricio, the spoils of victory and a trip to Beaverton.
I feel very happy to have won the Premier Cup, the Nike Cup, because we will have an opportunity to play in the US, to play in a different country.
While Maurizio and his teammates get a chance to relax, the action is hotting up in Madrid. Spain's La Liga is considered by many to be the best league in the world right now, with great young players and the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona and Atletico Madrid all coming through the ranks of La Liga. It could be just as strong in a few years' time. The group stages were played at Atletico's training facility, where Real Madrid's captain Raúl first learned his trade. By coincidence, Atletico Madrid were up against Real Madrid. Captain for the Red and Whites was a tough-talking, tough central defender called Borja.
As captain of the team, I feel like the mother of the team. What happens is that you have certain functions to fulfill, like encouraging the players. In a match, you're losing, or when you're on top, to keep them playing the same. It really is like being the mother of the team.
Borja's maternal instincts seem to have done the trick as Atletico take the lead. But Real go on to equalise. The final goes to a penalty shootout. Victory for Atletico and for Borja.
This is a great result. Winning this has made me the happiest person in the world.
If Borja or any of you want some idea of how quickly the dream of playing professional football can turn into reality for teenagers today, just ask Spain's Fernando Torres. Just 4 years ago, he was playing in the Premier Cup as a 15-year-old. Today, he's one of the rising stars of La Liga, playing centre forward for Borja's club, Atletico.
I miss being a kid, especially playing football and enjoying it as much as I used to. Before, I always played for fun, without pressure. I played with friends for a laugh and didn't have to think about it. Now there are so many other underlying things. There are pressures, there are emotions, and a lot of people expect things of you. And without all that pressure, before it was so different. I played for fun, and now winning games means something very different. Over the 90 minutes, I can just forget about everything else that has happened in the week, and I can get on with doing what I like, which is playing football. Of course, there is training, but what I really like is playing. I know that I am always going to enjoy myself when I play. It's what I've always dreamed of, and now I'm achieving it.
Call and order your Star Kick right now.
As a kid, I was definitely a troublemaker, especially when I was younger. I got into trouble a lot at school. I was pretty aggressive, violent sometimes. But there was kind of a point, 6th, 7th grade, where I definitely could have gone the wrong way. And fortunately, for whatever reason, I went the right way and I focused more on soccer. And from that point on, it was kind of a turning point into me becoming a professional soccer player eventually.
I still like having a laugh and having jokes and stuff like that, and probably the same still now. But it was good though. It was funny them times, man. Because every now and again you'd sneak off to your estate and you get in trouble when you come back because your mum didn't know where you was, and it's not a good thing to do though. You don't do that.
Difficult to say, but one thing I was always taught by my parents was to be honest. But of course, everyone gets up to things.
When I was young, I studied a lot. I played a lot of football and I ate a lot. There wasn't much else. I played so much football. I spent all day playing football. I got out of school to play football.
After all the qualifiers, it's now time for the World Finals. At the opening ceremony, a familiar football face arrives to make the draw.
I think you have to enjoy every moment here, and I think you have to dedicate yourself to what you are doing now. Don't worry about the future, just enjoy the present day.
Meeting the world's greatest footballer, do these players need any more inspiration?
It's the dream of every young kid that plays to meet Ronaldo. I had the opportunity and felt so happy when I met him. It was so emotional that I cried when I saw him.
I was in awe. I couldn't believe it. I was just shaking in my chair and everything, getting up to meet him. I was so nervous, but it was great.
20 teams have made it to the finals in the USA. Amongst all the professional clubs is Chungdong Middle School from Korea. Big favourites, though, are Corinthians from Brazil. At the Ronaldo Fields, Royal Coastal FC from South Africa get ready for action.
I think the most amazing tournament for youngsters like us, because it gives us an opportunity to interact with guys from different countries in it.
The level is really high, so we have to work harder than usual. Despite all the hard work, it's still brilliant here. I'm glad we're here.
It's an amazing experience. Every player's dream of playing against top teams from different countries, different cultures. It's great.
É bom. It's a good experience for us and to see all the players in the world, you know. And it's really good for us because we know how everyone plays now. We know we can play with them if we try hard.
When I get the ball, before you know it, bam, your opponent is on you. So there's always pressure to go for goal and try to score.
It's been great for us to play against European teams, Asian teams, African teams, teams from all over the world. The best players are playing in this tournament.
The top 2 teams from each group go through to the quarter-finals. Surprise losers from Group A are Manchester United, The unluckiest team proves to be Atletico Madrid in Group D, who miss out because of goal difference. And here's how they line up for the quarter-finals, with Europe, Asia and the Americas all well represented in this truly global event. The first match, Tokyo Verdy of Japan, Cruz Azul of Mexico. Cruz Azul have most of the play, and the Mexicans win 2-0 to go through to the semi-final. Sayonara, Tokyo Verdy. Next up, AC Tonbury of Thailand against Boca Juniors of Argentina. And despite a tough display by the Thais, the Argentines comfortably win 3-0. Lagon, AC Tonbury. The third quarter-final, Porto of Portugal, Bochum of Germany. Porto scored the only goal of the match. Auf Wiedersehen, Bochum. Last up, Corinthians of Brazil against Paris Saint-Germain of France. Brazilian teams have won the last 3 Premier Cups. Can Corinthians make it 4 in a row? The French team do their best to beat the tournament favourites. But one chance is all the Brazilians need to make it through to the semi-finals. Au revoir, Paris Saint-Germain.
I have a good feeling about this tournament because we're going to win the championship and become champions. Because at home, that is what they're expecting from us. And God willing, we'll take that cup to Brazil. So, 3 countries from the Americas into the semi-finals, with FC Porto left to fly the flag for Europe.
Every 4 years, only one rugby event takes the Soccer Channel.
Some downtime downtown for all the players. For many, this is the first time away from their own country.
We're going to feel it.
And even when they're shopping, these players have to show off their skills. As we've seen, the football in this tournament is taken very seriously. But when they're off duty, the players have taken the opportunity to meet and relax with fellow hopefuls from around the world. A global perspective is another very important thing this tournament hopes to give to those who take part. The semi-finals, and back down to business. The first match sees Corinthians take on Cruz Azul, Brazil versus Mexico. Plenty of rivalry there. In the second half, Corinthians score one of the goals of the tournament to take the lead. But in the final minutes, Cruz Azul are awarded a controversial penalty. 1-1 at the final whistle, and the Brazilians aren't happy. The match goes to a penalty shootout. An early miss by Cruz Azul. Corinthians miss as well. The penalty shootout is tied at 4 each. Another miss by the Mexicans. The Brazilians just have to score again to go through to the final. The other semi-final also goes to a penalty shootout after Boca Juniors of Argentina and FC Porto of Portugal draw 1-1. At 8 penalties each, Boca crucially miss. Porto just had to score one more penalty. The Portuguese go through to the final. So it's Corinthians against Porto in the final. But first up, all eyes on another team. If any players need any more inspiration, then Manchester United may just provide it. They've come along for a pre-season tour of America and to see which team will win the tournament named after them.
It's always been my dream to see Man United, especially Ryan Giggs.
Best team in England, and gonna get to see them here. So hope to try and meet Roy Keane.
I'm really looking forward to it. I really like Van Nistelrooy. I can't wait to see him.
I want to see Paul Scholes because he's my favorite player. I want to see how tall he is, how fast he is. I want to see the speed of play.
The final. Over 6,000 teams started out. 2 are left. Porto of Portugal, Corinthians of Brazil. Despite the pressure, the teams are friendly before the match. Porto looked the better side at the start. But it's Corinthians who take the lead. Within a minute, Porto equalise. It's turning into a fantastic match. Half-time, the score still 1-1. Time for a much-needed rest and a team talk from the coaches. In the second half, the Brazilians take control. Corinthians take the lead again. Corinthians win 2-1. The celebrations can begin. So too can the tears. With Brazilian teams having won for the past 3 years, the pressure was definitely on the Corinthians players to bring the Manchester United Premier Cup back home to Brazil. Through skill, determination, enjoyment, enthusiasm, and a little bit of luck, they've succeeded.
It's very emotional, very important to me. I've always dreamed of scoring a winning goal in a tournament, especially a tournament that is going to be so important in my life. I was happy to score the goal that made us champions, and now we're going to celebrate and take the cup home to Brazil.
O título aqui, agora comemorar muito para levar a caneta para o Brasil.
Valeu, pai.
At the closing ceremony, all the players finally get a chance to really let their hair down. There have been 64 matches, 154 goals, and countless friends made. It's been an amazing tournament. Royal Coastal FC of South Africa may have gone out in the group stages, but during this unscheduled stage invasion, they definitely win the award for the best dance moves. The talent scouts were out in force as these players represent the future stars of football. Next year, the finals will be played at Manchester United's legendary Old Trafford Stadium in England. Will you be a part of it? Here's a reminder of what it's really all about.
Now, for the first